Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ask Barry V Show. I'm Barry Vanover, and this is Miles Baker. Mr. Baker, what is going on in the martial arts industry? I can say that what's going on is mass intro mayhem. All of the clients that we work with, all of our premier martial arts owners, consulting clients, even people from this show right here that have been taking our advice are just getting sick results with their mass intros.
Saturdays are fun because we're always getting text messages right
Every
about
Saturday
noon.
evening, man, we're getting texts. Oh, we signed up this many people this morning.
That's cool.
We signed up this many people. It's totally awesome. And of course, we've been pushing that the first semester of school is your mass intro time. Don't wait till the second semester. It becomes harder and harder to sign the families up because they're already focused on summer and summer vacations. They don't want to start anything new till after summer vacations. First semester is mass intro time, and people are getting crazy results. You know, I don't have any specific. I do have specific, but if I leave anybody out, we're just doing this totally off of memory for the past few. David Dunn, a new premier martial arts school in Los Angeles, Saturday, his first ever mass intro, and he signed up 8 new students in 45-minute session.
That's great, yeah.
You know, that's Tim Lucas. I think Tim signed up 9 new students the other morning.
Pennsylvania,
Yeah, one of our fans on the show here, Ian, I think his last name's Quintella, or sorry, Ian, if I butchered your last name. Ian Q. You know, he was taking our advice and experimenting with the mass intros from things he heard from the show. He signed up 11 out of 16 people. 16 people showed up for his mass intro event. He signed up 11 new students.
That's really good.
I don't know, but that's probably, look, I don't know about Ian's sign-up results, but there's a lot of schools out there that don't do 11 new students in 1 month some months.
Yeah, let alone a day.
Ian signed up 11 in one day. You know, I went to, last weekend, I went to Austin, Texas to Premier Martial Arts School. I did a school evaluation for Gary Craig there in Round Rock, Texas. And on Friday, I went in with him and we saw an entire elementary school on a Friday. It was like, man, I don't know how many kids, 80 to 100, and we had to do it every 20 minutes.
Oh, wow, that's
so
fast.
It was like, yeah, it was crazy. It was as fast as we could possibly do it. Anyway, the school was kind of out of his market, right? And still had 26 people show up. And of the 26 people, I signed up 16 of those people onto regular memberships. It was totally awesome. 16 new students just from that Saturday morning. Now, you know, so I don't know what Mr. Craig, his results entirely was from September, but you know, now you understand, a lot of our listeners and followers, when school owners are getting 40 and 50 new students a month, you know, not always, but there's a good chance that mass intros are playing a big part of that.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's just so, you know, even me, I'm not from that market, from that area. Actually, parents were walking up going, when they're looking at the schedule, trying to decide, they're like, oh, now which nights are you teaching? I kind of felt bad, but I was basically like, oh, you know, I kind of oversee premier schools, so I kind of come and go. I was trying to be as nice as possible without going, oh, you'll never see me again, you know. So, but you know, we did all the things correctly. I remembered everybody's name, and we gave out the free uniforms, and they earned their white belt, and they broke the board, and the setting was just perfect for people to sign up. And Bryce Leggetti, Premier Martial Arts School in Is he in North Richland Hills?
North Richland Hills. I think they moved. Same area.
Built a beautiful 8,000 square foot, amazing school. Facility. And the growth of his school that's enabled him to go from, I can't remember, let's say 60 students to over 300 students, a beautiful big facility. They really got good at the mass intros, and they've got good at networking with their local school system. Get this. Last Saturday, he signed up 25 new students out of 36 that showed up from his school talks. I don't know. Let's see. We're recording this on the 27th or something of September. As of last weekend, he had signed up a total of 64 new students so far in September, 25 of which that signed up last Saturday. I know for a fact he was in the public school system. Now, that was Saturday before last. Last week, he was in the public school system and did another mass intro on this past Saturday that we don't know their results. So the most people I signed up in a month at one of my schools back in the day when I was a young instructor was 72 people in 1 month. Bryce might have broke my record, which I'm going to be pissed if he broke my record, right? Matter of fact, you'll never hear about it. I'll put that in the dirt. No one will ever hear if he broke my record or not. But 64 new students, regardless, that's insane.
And for those who don't know, it's worth mentioning that for our mass intro systems, these people sign up on a 6-month program. Every once in a while, I get people ask, "Is that month to month?" Or
yeah, we can't tell them everything.
But it's good to know that
give them the secrets.
But yeah, that 64 people on a month-to-month membership is totally different than 64 people.
No, I see what you're saying. There's 6-month basic programs these people are signing up for the first day they ever walked in the building.
Yeah, so that's
right. Not trying 2 weeks free or a month free or anything. Mm-hmm. It's about creating value, getting the people excited. Yeah. And it's rewarding for us. So, guys, you guys that are out there, if you don't know what I mean by mass intros, another thing I want to say, I guarantee you that I have signed up for my own verbal closings more martial arts students than anybody in the history of the martial arts industry. I've been doing mass intros for years as a young instructor all the way through, and I travel doing these school talks for people for the past 12 years of consulting. And I guarantee you from my verbal close, I've signed up more people than anybody ever in the martial arts industry. What's that mean? It means absolutely nothing other than I get a pat myself or good job me, right? But yeah, those of you out there, if you don't know what I mean by mass intros, you gotta call us. You gotta, find out. Those of you that have tried it once and it didn't work, doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means either you didn't make it work or it didn't work that time. Exactly. Right? Because it's just a great addition to your, it doesn't replace your normal marketing, but a great addition to the marketing that you're doing. All right. You ready to get into these questions today?
These questions. Jack D asks, he says, the Asbury V show is great. You're doing a real service for the school owners. Question he has for today is, after the 2-lesson trial, once the second lesson is complete, do you go right into selling your program or do you do a trial period? Please elaborate. Thank you, Jack.
Right. In our systems, other than the mass intros, which, man, that they signed up the first day they ever showed up in a group, that's a group setting. Going back to our 2-lesson trial program concept, they do 2 private one-on-one lessons. At the end of the second lesson, we do our closing procedures and we sign them up right then. There is no 2-week trial period, month trial period, 6 weeks trial period in the way that our systems dictate. Do we have a plan and a concept if you want to do a 6 weeks? Absolutely. Okay. But specifically what I've been talking in the past on the show was you do your close at the end of the second private one-on-one lesson. The child's, earned his white belt. You sit down and do a proper professional enrollment conference. And from that, our schools are getting signups. They're getting paid in fulls. They're getting people go straight to a 3-year black belt training commitment from that enrollment procedures, and they're getting those people to pay in full. I was just talking to a school owner, Robert Spoon, okay, awesome guy up in the Northeast. We were talking about not this concept, but kind of the closing procedures. And I was telling them that we have a new manager in town at one of our locations. He's only been with us 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah. He's doing great.
Right? And he's gotten, from that enrollment conference, we're talking about 2 people go straight to black belt training and pay in full. Yeah. With the equipment package that he sold with the 3-year black belt training program, the child never entered a class. That's what Jack's asking. That's $11,000 deal in extra in 1 month, just from us having the systems and the ability to do that. Now, is that same manager going to do that 2 or 3 times, 4 or 5 times every month? Probably not. Right. But the way we do it, it allows for that to happen organically. We're not being salesy at all, right? Now, going back to letting someone try a group class, frankly, if you did 2 lessons, in a close, there would be no reason to do the 2 lessons if you're going to let them come in and try 2 weeks or a month free. The 2 lessons is to control the situation so that certain things happen. Okay, so you definitely wouldn't want to do both 2 private lessons and then like a month or a 2-week trial period. So there's to me there's pros and cons of some kind of trial period. But we've always had great success with just the 2-lesson trial program going immediately into the closing, Jack.
All right, very good. So our next question comes from Tom F. He says, in a recent show you had mentioned that there are detailed steps to gather leads at promotional booths. Can you elaborate?
Yep. So I think we've covered this on the show a couple times, but Tom wants to know. So let's go over it again real quick. At a promotional booth, you need to have the booth look really exciting, professional. You need to train your staff well, that they're not just standing there talking to each other. They're out greeting people that are coming near the booth. Also making sure you've got reasons for people to approach you. Do you have a spin wheel? Are you doing board breaking at certain events? Do you have a television monitor with interesting things playing that attract people? And then do you have your staff members out, more importantly, engaging the crowd? So the first thing we do is all promotes and by the way, at every promotional booth, we're also promoting a mass intro, and we're gathering lead information for future, what we call power appointments or phone calls. So first thing we're doing when we engage someone, we have a card in our hand and we're inviting them to an upcoming free community event. That's our mass intro, right? We hand them the card, we tell them about it, we invite them, and we tell them also that we're giving away some free martial arts uniforms to the first 25 attendees. If they would like to guarantee they get a uniform and pre-register, they can go right over here to the booth and give us their name, phone number, email, and pre-register, right? That guarantees they get the uniform, which hopefully everybody that shows up gets a uniform. But it gives us a reason to gather their lead and promote and confirm that they're coming to our mass intro. And then, of course, we got their information to call them and confirm on Thursday night. So a good promotional booth will fill up your mass intro on Saturdays, right? Same thing as birthday party promotions help support your mass intros the next weekend. Then right there, really, if they've done that, there's no need to go on any further. But if that family member says, oh, thank you, okay, and they're not going over and pre-registering for the free community event so you can gather their lead, you remind them quickly of the other avenues and the other ways that you've got to gather the lead. Oh, by the way, Mom, Dad, we're giving away some free martial arts memberships, or we're raffling off some free martial arts birthday parties if you like to register. And we've got a spin wheel where Billy can win some instant prizes. So we it's kind of like catching them and throwing them at the booth, right? Either register for the mass intro, spin the wheel. In order to spin the wheel, you got to give us your lead information. Register, win a free martial arts birthday party or martial arts membership. At some events, that's more like a fair. Maybe you're doing a board breaking station, and Billy, you can break a real board. That's like you've got 4 or 5 different ways to gather their lead. They're all fun and exciting. If you've got your mascots standing there or some of your demo team members, to make it even more fun and festive and exciting. Last thing you want to do is show up at a promotional booth with some table, doesn't even have a skirt on it. You're standing there in a uniform with a few cards on the table, and you guys are just standing out there looking at the crowd. It's an event. You got to act like it's an event and get out there and promote your school. So that's a kind of an overview of some of our basic systems for our promotional booth.
Excellent. All right, our next question for this week comes from Ricardo M. He asks, what are your own schools doing currently for marketing?
What are we doing for marketing? We always pretty much do the same
on October,
few things, right?
Yeah. So, of course, it's October, Halloween season, so we've got all that going on.
Okay, so special events. Yep. Halloween's here. So, we've got about 10 steps of how we distribute those Halloween marketing cards. By the way, let's do a quick commercial. At martialartsmarketing.com, you can get amazing looking Halloween cards with your Halloween special on one side and safety tips on the other side. And we're giving 20% off those cards. And you can use the coupon code SPOOKY, all right, to get your 20% off. So, yeah, we're always doing things for the holidays or special events and trying to engage in the conversation already taking place, which would be events, which would be holidays, which would be current happenings, sporting events, anything that we can do to tie in our school and our marketing. But I think maybe Ricardo,
yep.
Ricardo, some of the standard things that we do for marketing is we're always now currently on Facebook. We're always running some type of ads and promotions, whether it's event promotion. By the way, we were talking about mass intros today. Great method of getting people to show up at your mass intros on the weekend is Facebook promotion.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? We add that to our weekly marketing now. And different, of course, our 2-lesson trial program or any type of special we're running on Facebook. We do Google AdWords to help with our promotion and of our website to gather leads, and we get great leads from our websites. Like I said, we're always on mass intro promotions. We believe in and conduct amazing martial arts birthday parties, right? And promotional booths. Okay, we're always looking for places and places in the community to set up a promo booth to meet people. I would say we do some pretty good B2B, some business to business stuff. We're always looking at companies to go in, especially with adult self-defense workshops, companies that maybe want us to give them a group discount for all their employees and family members, or having open houses and different events for the employees, for their kids and families to come into our school. So we try to work on some B&B and things like that in the community. I would say those things that I've just mentioned are the consistent things that we're working on. Month in, month out. There's going to be some surprise, unusual things happening. We're doing Be a Star Letter promotion right now to try to get into individual teachers' classes.
A lot of fall festivals right now. So a lot of the school marketing.
A lot of fall festivals and those types of things. We're doing some PTA enrichment program, fundraiser type things. Those are special and out of the norm, but those things that I mentioned are a standard month in, month out type marketing.
All right, our last question for this week comes from Rob T. He asks, how do you know when it's time to open your second location?
That's pretty easy to me, is Rob, when you can work on your business instead of in your business. And I know that sounds so cliche, but honestly, if you're where you don't have to do anything in your day-to-day operations, you're running the show, you're not in the show, right? That's one mark that you have systems in place for every staff member and things are running smoothly. You're no longer the technician. You're no longer a manager. You're the owner, and you're overseeing your staff members to get the job done. So when you're not tied to your school, and how you don't get tied to your school, again, are systems that are put in place for every aspect of your business. Now you have the freedom to either live a different lifestyle, right? A different type of way of living, or you can now focus on your next location and your next location, and then be a true entrepreneur, a true business owner, instead of somebody that has to work in your business with your own job as well. So many people open up their second location too soon, but they're just not ready. And I think, I don't think it's inherent to martial arts industry, but man, martial arts guys can have an ego, believe it or not, right? Okay. So we're all A-type personalities, right? And they hear all it takes is a martial artist to network with 4 or 5 school owners that happen to have their second location, and now they feel pressure. Oh, I want to say I'm a multi-school owner. I want to get my second location, and they're opening it. I've even heard of owners that open up a school and then they will go 3 days a week to their main school, and then they'll go 3 days a week to the other school. And now they're just creating more and more work for themselves, right? When the owner should have opened up another school totally independent of himself, right? It's never ever going there, never been there, never has anything to do with it other than managing the managers, right? And that's a different position. So I would say that's the answer. When you totally are out of it and you can now focus on growth. A business owner's number one objective or number one focus is simply, you should be doing the activities and the actions to grow your business. Growing your business is not teaching classes, is not being the program director, is not doing all of these small tasks, cleaning your school, right? That's task within the business. Growing the business is increasing income and profit margins and opening other locations and things like that. So is that all our questions?
That's it for this week.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, thanks for the kind words. We enjoy doing this, and we love the feedback that you guys give us. So if you have any questions, send those questions to, you can send them to me, CEO@barryvanover.com. We'll be glad to answer those, and we'll see you next time.